As dry conditions continue to be a fact of life in many parts of the country, gardeners and householders are looking for ways to adapt to water restrictions and still maintain their lifestyle and garden. One way to get some really great water-saving ideas is to check out the Save Water Alliance. Now, the National Program Manager is Michael Smith. He's a driving force for water conservation and education. So, Michael, tell us about the Save Water Alliance and what it does.
Well, we were created by the water authorities specifically around water conservation. They realised that they all had a role to play in that area, and they thought rather than compete with each other, it was an opportunity to pour money into a central bucket and have us provide some resources and support for them in that role. Savewater.com.au is about 600 pages of water conservation information. We've put together quite an extensive product library of water efficient technology. There's an interesting competition and there's a whole range of information about saving water.
Let's talk about the garden, because gardens are changing. They have to change. We have to evolve to have them look good. We're having to bring in new and different types of plants. What sort of advice can you give us along those lines?
We think that we're entering a really interesting phase in the way we think about gardens. We're seeing some early signs of climate change, we think, so particularly south-eastern Australia has experienced some very hot weather. So we think that the implications that has for our gardens is probably more shade structures, and we're also very interested in structures which stop the drying winds, because that's a major issue in how much water a plant or a garden needs. But it's all about reducing that effect of the wind running across the garden, because that has a major impact on how much water your plants will need.
One of the simplest water-saving things anyone can do in their garden is mulching. Applying a good thick layer of mulch will protect the soil from the extremes of weather, the drying winds, and it'll massively cut back on evaporation. Now, this would be one of the types of garden practices that the Save Water Alliance strongly advocates. I noticed on the website there's 5 different styles of gardens with plant lists there. It's a fantastic bit of information. Tell me a bit more about it.
We got a lot of feedback that when people thought about drought-tolerant gardens, they tended to think about natives or succulents. And we wanted to demonstrate that there's actually lots of different kinds of styles of gardens. We've got a cottage, a formal, a backyard, which is for your more active garden, a Mediterranean, and a subtropical.
How can people reduce water consumption inside the house?
Yeah, there's a couple of really important things here. One is the water-efficient shower head. Another area is washing machines. So top-loading washing machines use quite a lot of water, whereas a front-loader reduces it down to 40 or 50 litres.
That's fantastic, and all this information is available on the website.
Very much so.
Thanks, Mike.